Next location is Dewstone. So we are now leaving Low Lewitt Hills. Well, there's a lot of people in this town. I think the mobs are, yeah, they're level 17 now. So I am, once again, behind in a level. Okay, so we need to investigate. Oh, there's Marion.
It had always been clear that Marion came from wealth and breeding. But seeing her guards, it struck you that she might not only be rich, but noble. Long ago, the ruling queen was an elegant woman named Marion. She was forever memorialized in the name of the city of Marianople. 3 powerful families still ruled the city, vying for power between them. Each named their daughters Marion, in the hopes of fating her to be the next queen. And of course, fating her family to ride her coattails to new heights of prominence and wealth. Naturally, many commoners secretly named their daughters Marion for the same reason. But commoners didn't typically have cadres of loyal guards. The Marion who'd found you could be of noble blood, a powerful ally indeed.
Okay. Did she give me a stealth potion? Oh, yes, she did.
Marion tended to babble, because so much of life reminded her of history. The pet topic was Lucius. The more she spoke of him, the surer you became she was indeed Iana's Lucius. Marion was one of the most educated people you'd met. Only the very rich could afford to spend so much time learning instead of earning a living. When you asked how Marion knew so much about Lucius, she showed a prized possession. A tattered, well-loved volume called Gods and Heroes. You were familiar with the title. It was the story of the expedition. If only Marion knew how familiar you were getting with that story already. Not to mention that you were hearing it straight from the source.
Okay, so we know where the ring is at least. So I guess it's not here. Okay, so I need to go speak with Marion. Okay, so finally finished killing all. I wonder when the daily starts for. What level the daily quest starts? White Arden is next. I think my mount is leveling up perfectly with the quest, whereas I am way below my level. Wait a minute, I have to head over to White Arden. Okay, so that way. So we have more quests over here. Alright,
You'd heard the Nui's Chosen mentioned several times. Marion finally explained what they were. They were apparently warriors who lived in the hereafter, guarding the hereafter gate from attacks by the Crimson Army. The army that had once been led by the God of Destruction during the war on Auroria. They were now under the command of the Dread God's top advisor and general, Anthalon. Mostly consisting of undead, they wanted nothing more than to shatter through the hereafter gate and overtake Nuya the way they'd once overtaken Auroria, completing their conquest of the world. As to exactly who the Nui's Chosen were, or why they'd been chosen, Marion had no clue. Iana's memories were equally unenlightening. Perhaps White Arden held the answers.
so in order to prove ourselves, we have to also kill the Wandering Ghost and take their soul crystal. Just a few more to go. It's kind of hard being a lower level. I think I might do maybe some crafting to get my level up. I have some coin purses that I can open, although they're kind of lower level, so I'm not sure how much of a help it'll be. I think I'm gonna go try finding a group of mob that I could fight more easily and just farm it until I reach the reach level 20 or 21, just so that posting gets a little easier. So now I am at the same level as the quest mobs that I'm killing, and I did go ahead and turn in the quest here, and I accepted the other quest, so that's currently what I am doing right now. So, let's see. I need to turn in my quest here, and earlier on it was lagging a little bit, so I had to stop playing for a while. Oh, aggroed a monster, the Wandering Ghost. So we need to do a second test, which is just to hold this lily. We killed some savage corpse, and I think all we have to do is go talk to Alexander and deliver a mail as well.
Though their faces looked young, the eyes of the Nui's chosen appeared haunted, as if they'd seen far too much. For his part, Alexander looked like a boy of no more than 20. It seemed impossible he'd been one of Sloane's closest friends. Sloane had been at least 3 times Alexander's age, if not more. At any rate, he'd been able to explain exactly why the Ring of Nui was powerful. Sealing souls in the hereafter, conjuring souls back. Fitting for the goddess of Death's ring. Though based on her memories, Iana had a kind heart. While she'd have gladly helped Flora, you doubted she'd approve of necromancy, especially if it was committed using her artifact. Necromancy seemed extremely widespread in White Arden, as if the forest itself were trapped between this world and the hereafter.
So there's a lot of ghost activity in White Arden, I guess, since it's close to the Nuin's chosen people. Alright, so practice bow on a reanimated youth. Oh, right there. Okay. We just have to report to Kristoff, and he will send someone to search for the ring. Okay, so we have to go find Talantia and her apprentice. I think probably this will lead me to Marianople, I'm guessing. Actually no. This will lead me to Marianople. White Arden is very gloomy, but there's a nice trade run that I like to do, or that I used to do. Alright, and that's it? No other quests? Okay, we are finally done with White Arden, and now we are off to Marianople. Okay. Ooh, more quests. Great. Where do I turn in my quest? Let's see. Oh, right there.
Your proximity to the Hereafter Gate triggered more memories. The expedition fled the city after the jailbreak, reached the birthplace of the world, and inherited fantastic powers. Iana, who'd become the goddess Nui, worried they held too much power. She watched as former friends, now gods and heroes, began to war with each other. To her horror, the entire continent was drawn into the conflict. Many thousands died. She rallied with some of her former friends and vowed to save as many lives as possible. They would seal away Jean, who would become Kyrios, the rampaging god of destruction. While Nui opened a portal to the hereafter, the citizens of Auroria could then pass through it and exit the afterworld to a new land, untouched by war. The portal they'd exited through was the Hereafter Gate in White Arden. The gate Nui's chosen had sworn to guard.
Okay. Need to talk with someone else. And she will lead us to her messer. Okay, so she told us where Atalantia is. We finished this quest, and I'm gonna go ahead and turn in the quest. Cool, got a pet. I just need to buy a Vita root if I see any stable hen. Right there. Okay. Grow my Vita roots. Oh, okay. So I need to find somewhere else we could grow it. Maybe here. Ooh, right there. Okay. As well as my wolf. And right there. I collect some water meanwhile. This is such a pretty horse right here. I like this one. My horse is pretty too, but this is really nice. I like it. We need to talk to Atalantia or something like that. Hey. Alright, so what? So this has to be Lucius. Okay, to go talk to Marion. And so apparently that chicken was Sloane's spirit, but I think it's Lucius because he's the shapeshifter, I believe.
The Bloodhounds had been the real enemies all along. Atalantia's former students had interpreted her teachings incorrectly and grown overly zealous. Because Nui was the goddess of the hereafter, they became obsessed with death and necromancy. They came to despise all other Nuyens for not sharing their beliefs and not worshipping Nui the right way, with dark and bloody rituals. Though Atalantia was frustrated and angry, she was too old to rejoin Nui's chosen. They were Auroria's most elite soldiers. As Nui allowed for the exodus from Auroria, these warriors volunteered to stay behind. They pledged to keep enemy forces from following their comrades and destroying their new lives. The hereafter prevented them from aging, and the pledge became an eternal duty.
So I have to go. Wait a minute. Oh wow, kill the suspicious farmer? He's just kneeling. Oh, level 25. Okay, so you go in and report. I'm gonna also talk to, or go look for the body, Malcolm's body maybe? So we need to look for the meeting hall. As well as pick up some trash. Ooh, what is this? Trash. I don't think you could overachieve with trash, so I'm just gonna leave that be. What's one? I'll collect the perfect ring. Oh, hey! I leveled up.